If you're going to spend some time in San Francisco and you have a limited amount of time, one good way to get into the city is to start at the water. San Francisco, as is famously known, is surrounded by water. You might want to start off at places along Ocean Beach, which is the kind of majestic Pacific Rim, which is home to the Cliff House. It's a classic, old-school San Francisco establishment. It's been there for over 100 years. The view is absolutely unbeatable. And with 2 stories of restaurants, it's really a must-see location. Right along the Pacific as well is the Ocean and Beach Chalet, which is a pair of restaurants, one of which has a terrific Sunday brunch. And then, of course, there's just Ocean Beach, which in and of itself is kind of a great San Francisco tradition. Bonfires are kind of a steady thing there on the weekends. Other locations along the Pacific edge, I would include the Sunset District, which has long been considered kind of a sleepy backwater, but in the last, say, 10 or 15 years has really become a kind of a hipster's paradise. There's a collection of little bistros and coffee shops and even surf shops. In addition, Golden Gate Park is kind of a hidden jewel. I don't think many people actually visiting the city end up there, but it's actually bigger than Central Park, and it's got a wide variety of activities. You can do everything from watch a group of bison. There's a big bison pen there. There's a 9-hole, 3-par golf course. Then there's also the fly casting ponds, which are this kind of great old throwback. It's a nice place to spend an afternoon. Even if you're not a fisherman, you can sit there and read a book. One of my favorite spots is right there along the Pacific. There's a spot called Sutro Heights. Sutro was a mover and shaker in San Francisco in the 19th century, and his family has continued to be influential in the city into the 20th. He developed a series of public baths right there along the Pacific. They failed, fell into disrepair, and eventually were demolished, but you can still see the relics there. And from Sutro Heights, which overlooks that, it's a great spot to kind of get a sense of the history of San Francisco as well as the initial appeal, why people ended up here, the immense physical beauty. For anyone looking for another good, cheap, and certainly scenic location, the Presidio of San Francisco, which for a long time was a military base, is really one of the most scenic and kind of untapped resources. Annie Goldsworthy, who's kind of a well-known landscape artist, has done a couple of environmental sculptures up there, one of which is called Spire, which is this particularly striking wooden spike kind of shooting skyward. Right near there are some of the best views of the bay. A nice brisk walk along Crissy Field, which is right underneath the Golden Gate Bridge, is pretty much an unbeatable location. You've got sweeping views not only of the bay, but of the Marin headlands in the distance. On a clear day, you can actually really see forever in San Francisco. So a good cheap treat is just to wander along the waterfront.